WearTesters.
Yo, what's good guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. Back at it again with another performance review. This time around it's the Kobe 11 EM, or just known as the Kobe 11 Low. This is the Kobe 11 Elite. And with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So the traction pattern of the shoe hasn't changed at all. However, the rubber compound has. So instead of the translucent rubber that we saw on most of the Kobe 11 Elites, we have a solid rubber throughout. And this stuff here, I've got to say, is way better than the clear stuff. I'm not going to say that it was the best ever. It's not Kobe 9 level, not even close, but it is kind of on par with the Kobe 8s. That's what they really reminded me of. There's some wiping needed, but other than that, it wasn't a big deal. Half the time I didn't even think about wiping, which is great. All I was doing was playing on the floor and it was fantastic. So if you're going to be going with a Kobe 11, I would recommend highly that you go with a solid rubber option over the translucent. This right here is just a much better option. Now the cushion is a drop-in midsole just like the Kobe 11 Elite. However, this guy here is just full Lunarlon and that's it. I personally really enjoyed this setup. I thought that it was great. It had super smooth transition. I loved the little dual density feature that they have right here. So this is a much firmer foam than the rest of it. And so if you over or under pronate, let's just kind of keep that heel area stable. Something that's rare to see in a basketball shoe, to be perfectly honest. So I think that this is great. Normally they do that stuff to cater for runners, but to see it in a hoop shoe, not bad. Now what you're going to get out of this guy here is a much bouncier feeling Lunar. There are no flex screws like there are in the Elite version, but it feels awesome. These guys feel like they got a little bit more rubber in them. So like I said, they're a little bit more bouncy and you still get that really low to the ground, responsive ride with some impact protection, which I love. However, there is a big dislike with this guy here. Instead of having a bunch of raised bumps on the footbed to kind of keep that grip on there for your socks, instead they've kind of reversed that and they made the pattern go into the cushion here, and then there's no liner on there. So with additional sweat buildup, I was having some slipping inside the shoe, which I did not like. Again, it was very similar to my Kobe 8 experience, but the great thing with the drop-in midsoles is that you can completely customize your ride with the stuff that they have available, and this is the one that had the liner that I like, so this is what I used. Materials are definitely the most notable change between the two models. This guy here features full-on engineered mesh with some fuse overlays for some structure, support, and additional protection for high wear areas. I personally prefer this setup here. The materials were awesome. They were lighter. They were way more flexible, way more forgiving. There was no disconnect between you, the materials, and your foot. And all around, I just thought that this was a better setup. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I know that Flyknit is very popular, but for whatever reason, they have engineered mesh down pat. And I feel like Flyknit in basketball is still a work in progress, even after like, what, 3 years or something like that. So going with something like this, for me personally, I just thought that this was better. Now the only downside is that this is less durable than the Flyknit material, but other than that, I mean, this is where it's at right here. As far as their fit, I'd say go true to size. And again, I believe that the lockdown in this guy was just better than the Elite version. Like I said earlier, the materials fit close to your foot. You have a really nice snug one-to-one fit here, whereas these guys felt narrow, but they had some volume above your foot right here in the toe box. These guys feel narrow, but they also wrap right over your foot, and it feels amazing. And just a small thing that I really like, that's something that's usually overlooked, is the way that the laces are placed. You could see that everything kind of goes at an angle a little bit. Now it's real hard to see on the actual laces themselves because this is where your eye is drawn to, and this is clearly at an angle, but these guys are skewed off just a little bit, and this allows for perfect flex. Again, there's zero disconnect between your foot and the shoe. You have a perfect one-to-one fit with these guys, and that's something that I did not receive from the Elite version. As far as support, they're practically identical. They have all the same features. They got the same heel counters. They got the same outriggers at the forefoot. The only real difference in this department is going to be the thickness of the materials. This one's slightly more thick than these guys here. So support from the materials, you're going to get a little bit extra out of these guys. But the one-to-one fit and the closeness that these guys get to your foot, in my opinion, is far greater for support than durability or strength of the materials. So I'd personally, again, go with these guys. And that'll pretty much take care of it. I thought that this was an awesome shoe, something that I really couldn't say for the Kobe 11 Elite. I really wanted to like those things, but I just couldn't get down with them with the traction. So as I said earlier, these guys got much better traction than the original version. They still have the customizable cushion setups. I personally love the materials more on these guys. I also enjoyed the fit way more in this guy here. And then the support is pretty much even. So if anybody was interested in playing a pair of Kobe 11s, this is the one that I would recommend. I would not recommend the Elite version, especially with this guy sitting right next to it on shelves. And hopefully this review helped you guys out. So if you wanted to know any more information, including their scores, their weight, all you got to do is click the link in the description box below. And if you have any additional questions that were unanswered in the review, all you got to do is leave me a comment in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys again, and until next time guys, have a good one. Tissue paper. There you go. Some more NMDs.
Got him!
So got the all whites this time. This one has the materials that I like. However, right now as we speak, I'm actually wearing the coolest part about the shoe. They have a Phylon midsole with full length air, and then the upper is full on leather. And not only is it full on leather, but it has this really weird texture all over it. And then on top of the texture,